Good morning. I'm with Professor Kaelin today at the Human Rights Committee for an explanation of the review of Germany. The state party have been reviewed by the Human Rights Committee. The sixth state report was reviewed, and I will discuss now with Professor Kaelin about the main issues discussed during this review. Good morning, Professor Kaelin.
Good morning.
Professor Kaelin, what are the main issues that you discussed with the committee discussed with the delegation, the state delegation?
Well, it's difficult to identify main issues because we discussed many issues, and it was a very, I must say, interesting discussion. We were able to really go into details. What I would like to mention in terms of issues we discussed: violence against women. There are reports that, in particular, women of Turkish and Russian origin are suffering from an increased level of such domestic violence. We were discussing police issues. Not everywhere Germany has independent complaints mechanisms to investigate allegations of ill treatment. One point that took up a lot of time was the new draft law on post-conviction preventive detention, meaning detention for people who are too dangerous to be released after they have served their sentence. And one particularly interesting issue was to what extent Germany has an obligation to provide remedies to victims of activities incompatible with human rights standards carried out by German firms abroad. We were discussing about a specific case that happened in Africa.
Okay, thank you very much. The Human Rights Committee has a very well developed follow-up procedure where the state is supposed to engage with the Human Rights Committee for the next 12 months. And I would like also to know what are the burning issues that the committee would like to follow up with Germany.
There are three issues. The first one relates to asylum proceedings. According to the Constitution and the law, appeals do not have suspensive effect in cases of transfer of asylum seekers to other European states. And there were problems in Greece, where the European Court on Human Rights said you can't do it. And there we think that they need to bring in line this legislation with the human rights standards. Second, we would like to know what comes out of Parliament regarding this draft bill on post-conviction preventive detention, whether the bill will be in line with covenant standards. And finally, we took up an issue of the use of physical restraints applied to people in homes, for instance, people suffering from mental problems. And study by an insurance oversight organization found out that in about 30% of cases, these measures are not imposed, respecting the procedures that are prescribed by law.
Okay, thank you very much. The NGOs will continue to be engaged with the Human Rights Committee to ensure appropriate follow-up from an NGO perspective. And I have a very last question. When is the next report due for the Human Rights Committee?
In 6 years.
In 6 years. Yes. Thank you very much, Professor Kaelin. Thank you.